Hi, welcome to the Niels Homestead, and today we are continuing our tour of the Lamanai Mayan ruins in Belize. This is the great temple in the Mayan ruins there, and we are about to be able to climb this temple. It's a really cool experience to be able to do that. Apparently a lot of the temples in Mexico, you can no longer climb them, so we were privileged to be able to do so. However, we can't climb up the face of it. They have these stairs that kind of go around the side and then the back. These were fairly steep stairs, and there's some pretty good drop-offs around, so you didn't want to be careless, but it was relatively safe. Here we are emerging on the level just below the top level of the pyramid. That's where it lets you out at. There's a really cool view from the top. You can see way out. I can only imagine what it looked like back in the heyday of it, when everything was cleared and all the temples were there.
Go little by little and slowly and reverently.
There's a little bit more to go up, but they have it blocked off because they have had an accident, or maybe accidents where people would trip going up or coming down and fall. The stairs are very steep. Online you can see pictures of people climbing up and all the way at the top. We weren't able to go quite all the way up there, but we were able to be right next to it. And we were able to, get close and touch stuff and whatnot. Experience the stairs a little bit. This is the lowest level that's not ground level, so you can get a view of how high the thing is and how steep it is. But first we had to go down the stairs, and going down was about as hard as going up because they're pretty tall stairs. This temple is, I would say, maybe 3/4 excavated. There's still quite a bit of work to do on it. Once they do fully excavate it, apparently they will close access to climb up it, because they'll no longer have the staircase and everything. If you look closely at these stairs, you can see that they look a little different because they've actually been repaired. And there's a few other places on the pyramid that have been repaired, where they've made things kind of back to original. This one was the last temple that we went to. This one has Olmec faces. These are very interesting. The Olmec peoples were very mysterious. They basically disappeared, but they left these large heads and large faces around Mesoamerica. Nobody knows exactly where they came from. They have Asiatic features and they have African features in their face, and none of those seem to be present in modern day peoples, so nobody really knows. They're from at least 200 BC, maybe earlier. We were able to go right up to these masks. However, these are not the actual masks. These are fiberglass recreations over the top of the actual masks to protect them underneath. The Mayans, and perhaps others before them, had actually covered over these masks. They built walls around them, and there are 2 other masks up higher, they can tell, that are not uncovered. We were done with the main temple tour and we're walking back. We get to see a lot of the flora and a little bit of the fauna of the area. If you've seen the movie Apocalypto, you might have seen these trees. These are called give and take trees, and these thorns were used for the darts. They would put the poison on them. They are apparently extremely painful if you get pricked with them. So this is a large specimen of a tree. If you can hear that noise, that was some birds that we saw. They were fairly large, like a small chicken size, but we didn't figure out the species. This is a mahogany tree. These are very famous there, and they take a long time to grow. That is a relatively young specimen. They will get much, much larger. This is the end of our tour here. For our next video, we will be visiting the island of Key Calker, and we will be able to go snorkeling and fishing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you next time.